In this video, we're going to work on examples 8.15 and 8.16 from your book. If you'd like to follow along, open the Chapter 8 Classwork.xlsx workbook from My Courses and click on the EX 8.15 worksheet tab. In this example, we'd like to do a regression including whether the person has an MBA or not. Unfortunately, we can only regress numbers. We can't regress no and yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn every no into a 0 and every yes into a 1. So the coefficient for MBA, yes, no, will basically tell you how much extra salary you earn if you have an MBA, because that coefficient will have a 0 if you don't have an MBA, so you won't get that treatment, but it will have a 1 if you do have an MBA, so you will get that treatment or coefficient. So in order to do the coding, we're going to click in cell D4 and we're going to click the Formulas tab. In the Function Library group, we're going to click Logical, and then we're going to click F. Now our logical test, we're going to ask if the MBA equals no. We could also ask if it equals yes, but I'm just going to choose to ask if it equals no. So I'm going to say in my logical test, I'm going to click cell E4, and I'm going to ask if it equals, and because no is a label, I have to put it in double quotes. So I will do double quotes, NO, close the double quotes. And we can see that that is in fact true because E4 is a no. So if that is true, we have it put in a 0. Now you think we would need another test to ask if it's yes, but of course if it's not no, it's going to be a yes. So in the value of false, just type the number 1. So we're just going to ask if the cell in column E equals no. If it does not equal no, we're going to tell it to put the number 1. And if it does equal no, we're going to tell it to put the number 0. So we click OK. It has a 0. Now we're going to make sure that we've clicked on cell D4, and then on the bottom right hand corner of the cell, we're going to double click that fill handle. Remember, skinny plus, not the 4-headed arrow. But once you get the skinny plus, just double click, and we can see that wherever it says a yes, we have a 1, and wherever it says a no, we have a 0, which is exactly what we want. Now before we regress, it's a very good idea to change these into numbers, because right now they're not numbers. We can see in the formula bar that they're in fact formulas. So I'm going to select the range, D4, all the way down to the bottom, D38. Then I'm going to click the Home tab, and I'm going to click the Copy icon. Then I'm going to click cell D4. It's a very bad idea to select the range that you're going to paste to, because if you select the wrong range, the paste fails. Just click in the top left-hand corner of wherever you want to paste. So I'm just going to click in cell D4, making sure that I'm still on the Home tab. I'm going to click the little down arrow under Paste, and under Paste Values, I'm going to choose the first one, Values. So under that group, Paste Values, just choose the first one, Values. And we can now see that in column D, we actually do have 0s and 1s, not if statements. If you want to get rid of the marquee, which is that dotted line that's going around, just hit your escape key, and now we're ready to do our regression. So to do our regression, we're going to click the Data tab. You should have an Analyze group with a Data Analysis icon within that group. If you don't see it, click File, and then Options. On the left-hand side, click Add-ins. On the bottom next to Manage Excel Add-ins, click Go. Make sure your Analysis Toolpak is checked, and then click OK. And when you go back to that Data tab, you should see the Analyze group with the Data Analysis icon. So we're going to click Data Analysis in that Analyze group. We're going to scroll down until we see Regression, and we're going to click OK. Our Y range is going to be the salary, because we're going to ask whether age or MBA predicts salary. So for the input Y range, I'm going to select the range B3, as far down as it goes to B38. Now in the X range, I'm going to click in the box, and then I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to select C3 and D, column C and D, all the way down to row 38, so C3 to D38. Now I'm going to scroll up. You can see because I've included the labels, I have to click that labels box. I'm going to click Output Range to have our output be on this worksheet. I'm going to click in the box next to Output Range and just click cell H1. And I'm going to click OK. I will make my columns a little bit wider so you can kind of see what's going on and see the headers. And let's do our analysis. So we can see that our R squared is 0.953. Very nice. Our significance for the total regression is extremely low, so we're pretty confident about this regression. We have one p-value for the intercept that's 0.6, but our other p-values are very low. So we may want to consider running this regression without the p-value. Now looking a little bit more closely at this model, looking at the coefficient for MBA, yes, no, we can actually see that having an MBA will increase your salary by $14,767. Now we're going to move on to example 8.16. So click the EX 8.16 worksheet tab. In example 8.16, they want us to create an interaction variable. So I've already coded the MBA yes, no field. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new field where we're going to multiply the age by the MBA. So we're going to click in cell D4 and we're going to type the formula equals, click on cell C4, type an asterisk, and then click on cell E4. So we're going to multiply the age by whether there's an MBA or not. We're going to hit enter, click back on cell D4. We're going to double click the fill handle, and now we're going to rerun the regression with our interaction term. So just click any cell within the list. We're going to click the Data tab. In the Analyze group, we're going to click Data Analysis and Regression. Delete what's in there from before for the last exercise, so just delete and delete. We want to make sure that we're working with the data on the correct sheet. So I'm going to click in the input Y range, and we still have the same Y. Select B3 all the way down to B38. Click in the input X range box, and now we're going to select the range C3 to E38. Because we started off with row 3, make sure that the labels are checked. click the output range box, backspace to delete what's there. We want to make sure that we're doing this on the correct sheet, and click once again cell H1, and then click OK. And we now have our regression with our interaction term.